Mount is not that type of player. Mount is not Ronaldo. Mount is not Messi. Mount is not like he's not like he hasn't done anything for United yet, at least, that like makes him like a player that needs to start. Yo, you guys, what is up, man? Welcome back to Real United Talk, where we talk about all matters Real Madrid and United. And again, this is going to be another United Matters episode for my United fans out there. Real Madrid fans, your time is coming, our time is coming, we're going to get this done. But there's just so much to talk about with United, and as you guys can see, I don't know why I can't tell my left from my right now, but you guys can see, I finally changed my jersey to a United jersey so I can talk about United. And please don't expect me to wear a jersey for every single episode. Obviously, I would like to. I have a good amount of jerseys, but like I don't have enough to be wearing for every single episode. So please don't expect this. But like it's going to be something I'll try to do as often as I can. And jersey requires money, which is something I don't have that much of. So if you guys want to buy me a jersey, hey man, I'm open to it. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. And in this episode, I don't even know why I'm talking all excited right now, because this is not an exciting episode, because I'm finally going to be talking about the Europa League. I haven't talked about the Europa League since the game itself. I actually streamed that game, so I tried to stream on Twitch. I haven't been consistent at all. I've had a lot of like technical difficulties, and I'm not trying to like figure out the whole thing. But like I haven't really streamed on Twitch that much, but I did stream that game on Twitch. And yeah, I think it's still active on my channel. I don't know if by the time this episode will come out whether it still be there. But like yeah, I did stream the game, and I streamed the game thinking that we're going to win, like hoping that we're going to win. So I thought it'd be like one of those happy streams, I'll get a few like celebrations off, and like I just thought it'd be a good stream, but it turned out to be one of the most depressing streams, one of the most depressing games I've ever watched in my life. And yeah, let's just get into it, man. That Europa League, bro, I'm so like I haven't actually I haven't talked about it on my TikTok, I haven't talked about it on my Substack, I haven't talked about it on anything, I haven't talked about it to anyone except for the person I watched it with. There were people hitting on my stream when I was watching, and yeah, it's just so hard to talk about, but we have to talk about it now. So where do I start? So let me start here. So first, I'd just like to say that like I think Amorim got it wrong. I think Amorim got it wrong with the starting 11. I'll just start there. I don't think Amorim put out the right starting 11. I have faith in Amorim, right? So like I don't like to question his decision making or anything, but like this is one of the first times that like I've seen him put out his squad, and I've been like, I don't know about that, bro. Like I don't know about that. Like I think there's been one or two times obviously, but like this game I was genuinely like, I don't know about that, bro. And the reason why, I think he made some unnecessary changes, might I say. Like I think he made some like changes that like didn't need to be made for this final in particular. Also, as you guys know that like we're unbeaten in Europe for like the whole season, like until the final we're unbeaten in Europe. So like there were high expectations, and people actually thought we were going to win. I thought we were going to win because of that. Like I just thought it was one of those things where we had a really good European season, and as much as it would have been taken away into the Champions League next season, I just thought it was one of those things where we do end up winning the Europa League. I thought it to be good recovery from our 2021 final where we lost against Villarreal, obviously another painful game. But yeah, I just thought that this would be a nice little thing, and a nice little way to end our season as well. We've had such a terrible season, but we've won 2 trophies in the last 2 seasons. Our first season was decent and won the Carabao Cup. Our second season was terrible, but won the FA Cup. As much as like a trophy would have revived our season, I did think that like the trophy could have done something for ourselves, the morale, and being in the Champions League next season. That's finance, that's money, that's just like winning the competition. Obviously would have been good. Leave it there. So I do think that he did make a few wrong moves in that final, and I'm just going to talk about a few of them right now. So obviously we put out the normal 3-4-3 formation, and we had Luke Shaw, Maguire, Euro, and everything. I'm not going to get into every single person that started, obviously, but yeah, let's just talk about like the mistakes that I did think he made. Like let's just like from the get-go, when I did see the formation put out, when I did see the players that the lineup put out and the players that were playing, I did think that like, why did we make these changes? And I think the first one that caught my attention was immediately was Ugarte not starting and Bruno starting in CM. So as you guys know, like obviously, like Casemiro has had this revival to his name, this like this remontada to his career kind of thing. Like everybody thought he was done at United, that like he only come on when like he absolutely needed to, but like maybe Ugarte is injured or not, Ugarte just needs a rest or like already winning or something, which was rare this season. But Casemiro obviously had this revival to his season. I think one of the things that helped him a lot was him being partnered with Ugarte, because he has less, like as much as he does still have his defensive responsibilities and everything, like he had less to worry about, knowing that there's someone next to him with all like that has the legs to actually do all the running, that has the aggression and the tackling and everything. So he did feel maybe more comfortable next to someone like Ugarte. Obviously, he doesn't have the distribution. Ugarte doesn't have the distribution and everything, but Casemiro is actually decent at like passing. He's obviously not like a Pedri or a Toni Kroos that just receives the ball from the back four, but like he is decent at passing, progressing the ball forward with his passes and getting forward, obviously. So those are things that made him, and then like Ugarte next to him probably felt a lot more comfortable getting forward, which is why he got a few goals every now and then. So like yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I think that he did feel comfortable next to Ugarte, and I do think that that's one of the reasons for his remontada in his career. But obviously we decided to start Bruno in that final, which was kind of weird because like we've been going the whole Ugarte Casemiro route, so it was kind of weird to see. And I don't know, I just didn't have faith in it, especially because like look at Spurs, look at what Spurs did. Spurs won that game. Like Spurs did not win that game of quality. But like I don't like saying we're the better team. I don't like saying any team was the better team that didn't win, because like if we're the better team, we would have won. Because like one thing that makes you win is like taking your chances. Like if you were taking all your chances, if you had been the better team, like you said, you would have won that game, but you weren't because you didn't, kind of thing. So no, we're not the better team, but we did like have the momentum. We did create more chances and all of that, but like we didn't take them. But one of the ways that Ange approached that game, which is why he won, was that he tried to outplay us physically. Like United, the games that United have won this season, right, in the Europa League, like one of the things that we did outmatch the other teams in whether it's Real Sociedad or Bilbao was physicality and athleticism. Because like in La Liga, as much as like the quality players, they're not not all of them are the most athletic, not all of them are the most physical kind of thing. Just like in terms of like running around, that type of thing. So like we outmatched them in those disciplines, and which is why we're able to beat Bilbao and everything. So we did outmatch them in that, and then it's something that Ange is known for, like wanting to get like the better game, like wanting to create more chances, just wanting to like have the better game than his opponent. But that affected him because like Spurs don't necessarily have that quality to outplay opponents that often, kind of thing. So that's one of the things that affected them this season. But in this game, Ange literally just came to win. Ange literally said, I don't care about outplaying United, I don't care about creating more chances, I don't care about clean nice football. What I care about is when my team has not won a trophy in years, and what I want to do right now is win a trophy for this team. I said I always win in my second season. I have to back that up. And what did he do? He came in, he played a physical squad, and they beat us. Like that's how they beat us. One of the ways that they beat us was in the midfield. Like we were not winning the second balls. Like Spurs were literally on everything. Bissouma was literally on everything. Like Bissouma had a good game. They had a good game in general, and yeah, they could outclass us physically. And there were a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, one of the main things was the CM thing. That's why I think that Ugarte and Casemiro should have started. Bruno should have started in the calm next to. Now this is not the next one. Garnacho. I do think that as much as like the whole Garnacho situation, which I will get into maybe in another episode, maybe not this episode, as much as like he's not right to come out to the media and say stuff like that, like like that's not the right thing to do, especially after a loss and everything. Like I do think that like he's right for wanting to start. He started most of our games in the Europa League. He has been an important player in the Europa League so far. So like it's just like crazy to not start the final. And the main thing about it was not even just the fact that like he didn't start and everything. It's who started over him, because there's the whole thing about like maybe an important player being injured for most of the season, and then the main player like comes, and then he comes back, and then the player that was playing in his place like for a final gets benched, and then he gets back into the starting next time, right? Like we did see that for Courtois and Rooney when Rooney took us all the way to the Champions League final in 21-22. That's Real Madrid, sorry, 23-24. So like last season, sorry about that. And then Courtois ended up playing the final against Dortmund, and we won the game, right? So like we've seen situations like that, right, where like like this player that like when he's back he has to play. Like we've seen situations like that where like he does end up like bouncing in for the final. But this is a whole different situation because Mount is not that type of player. Mount is not Ronaldo. Mount is not Messi. Mount is not like he's not like he hasn't done anything for United yet, at least, that like makes him like a player that needs to start. And I just think that as much as like I said, like the whole thing that Garnacho did was not like right, like he was right to be angry, kind of thing. Like I do think that why did Mark start that game? Like he hasn't like he came back from injury, sure, he has had some good moments, sure, but like that doesn't justify him starting a final against Spurs, especially like he got lost in that game physically. He got lost like he didn't do much in that game, right? And it just felt like the whole wrong decision. Like I think Garnacho would have offered a lot more if he started. I don't know if he had had if he would have had like a better game, but one thing is for sure, he wouldn't have gone missing the way Mount gone missing. Mount went missing. Like Mount was nowhere to be found. At least Garnacho, even if he loses the ball, even if he like you would have known that Garnacho is on the pitch. That's the thing about Garnacho, yeah. Like he doesn't stop trying. That's one of the things I like about him. That's one of the things I grew into liking about him. And one of the reasons I actually started liking him as a player is that he doesn't stop trying. As much as less he can be frustrated, as much as yeah, he can be like, oh my god, like again, like boy, you lost the ball like 5 times in a row and everything. He doesn't go missing in games. He's always trying his best. And I think that in this game, that's what we needed from our players. What we needed from our attackers, especially. All these attackers were going missing. It's like only Ahmad was the person that was trying and everything. Like we needed players that could try. And I think that they have been very good in that game. If he has started, he obviously played like 20 minutes. I think that Mount shouldn't have started that game. Mount has shown that that he's a decent player and everything, but like he hasn't done enough to justify why he started that game, right? So I do think that Garnacho should have started that game, and I think that if he had started that game, would have done a lot better. That's the one that like that's another one that like caught my attention. Like why is Mount starting? Like I was just like, Mount shouldn't be starting this game. And yeah, so like I said, Garnacho's anger is justified. He shouldn't have done that in the press, but his anger is justified. So yeah, that's another one I don't agree with. And then the last one, this one is kind of like because I can see why he did it, but at the same time, like I would have gone the other way, which is Mazraoui starting in right wing back. I don't think that Mazraoui should have started in right wing back. I do think that Ahmad should have started in right wing back and Mazraoui should have started in right centre back. And this is not coming back to Luke Shaw because I don't think Luke Shaw should have started that game. Like Luke Shaw is another one that just came back from injury. As much as like Luke Shaw has proven in the past that he's a good player and he can be a good player, Luke Shaw has played in the left centre back role for England and he has played that role in general for I think he has played it for us as well. Like just in general, like he has proven that he's a good left centre back. But at the end of the day, like he has been injured for most of the season and other players have been stepping up in his place, right? So I don't think that Shaw should have started that game. I think that was on that way we lost out physically and I think that was the way we messed up in our formation. I don't think that Shaw should have started that game, but he did start alongside Maguire and Euro, and I just think that was the wrong call. As much as yes, I can see how Ahmad can be exploited on the wing. Like Spurs don't really have like they can't really exploit us the way that they would have wanted to if Ahmad had started, right? Like they don't have like that quality. They don't have Madison didn't start that game, right? So they don't have that passing and all of that. Like they don't have that. Like obviously they have the Tell start that game. I can't remember, but like you know what I mean. Like as much as they can't expect Ahmad starting in right wing back, like it's something that we could have done in so it's something that could have shown intent in terms of the way they want to attack in that game. So I do think that Ahmad should have started. I think that Madrid starting in right wing back in that game was not the right move based on like it was Shaw that was playing in his place in that centre back this thing. I think that you should have started in left centre back, Maguire should have started in centre back, and Mazraoui should have started in right wing back, and Ahmad should have started in this. I don't see the reason why you want to change every single thing they have been doing all season for a final when like the players that are even playing are not players that are showing anything why they should be playing, right? So I think that Amorim got it wrong with his formation. I think that it should have been Euro, Maguire, Mazraoui, Ahmad, Dogu, Ugarte, Casemiro, Bruno, Garnacho, and Hoyland. Just based on he has been playing all season and Zexi got injured at some point and Zexi just came back from injury, I can understand Hoyland starting the final, right? But like, he got lost as well and everything. But I can understand Hoyland starting the final, so he's not going to be in this list for players who I think should have started or who shouldn't have started, right? So yes, Hoyland starting the final is okay. Zexi coming in at some point is not what you do and everything. But yeah, those three players shouldn't have started and these three players should have started. I think that if they had done that, we'd have had a better chance. And just like doing what we know kind of thing, because like you don't want to be changing up all your tactics and everything just for one game. As much as like it's the biggest game they are playing that season, you don't want to change everything they have done all season just for one game. So yes, I think that Amir made a few mistakes. And yeah, we created more chances and Spurs didn't beat us on quality at all. Like I said, Spurs came there to physically like win the battle, and Spurs came there to win. They did not come there to play about. Did not come there to do anything. Spurs came there to win, and they won. Like look at the goal that they scored. Such a dirty goal. That's like, and after they scored that goal, they locked up shop. They said, yeah, one like we're not scoring, but you guys are not scoring. Like we know we're not scoring, but you guys are not scoring. Even that goal that they scored, like wasn't even like wasn't one of them goals that that like was a dead goal. Was a dead goal, right? It was a dead goal, and they were okay with it because like it's a goal at the end of the day. All that needs to happen is that the ball goes in the back of the net. So it was a goal at the end of the day, and they ended up scoring, and then they won the game with just that goal. That was one of the deadest goals I've ever seen in a final to win a game. Do you get what I mean? It's one of the deadest goals I've ever seen to win a game in a final, in a Europa League final, like in the European final. Like it was just so disgusting to see. But yeah, I still had hope in the game. I still had hope that we're going to come back. I hope that something will happen, whether it's in the last minute or sometime in the game. I hope that we'll win the game, and obviously, and we didn't win. We didn't create enough clear cut chances, and Spurs were good enough to lock up shop. I don't think we made our substitutions on time as well. That's another thing I had a problem with. I think that Mino came on too late. Mino came on in what, the 90th minute or something like that. I think that Mino came on too late. Like for a team that's trying to win, you put out like even if you had lost 2-0, at least you'd have known that we tried. But you brought out Mino at like what, the 90th minute. And then like I don't know, I just think that a lot of things that were supposed to happen in that game didn't happen. In the Garnacho came on like the 70th minute when he should have come on, maybe not at halftime, but like 55th kind of thing. Like Mount, like I said, Mount just came back from injury and hasn't done anything to justify why she could play 70 minutes of the final. I'm not sure if it was Mount that played 70 minutes, but you know what I mean. Like I just don't think that. I just think that like the substitutions were not made at the right time. I think that the players that started were not the right players to start. I think that there were just some things that like he did that I didn't agree with, and like we ended up losing. So I'm not saying that like if we had done all these things we would have won, but I'm saying that like we should also have gone with what we know and try to win the game with the way we know how, kind of thing. So yeah, I do think that those are a lot of bad decisions, and that was damning to us because like as much as yes, it's like first off, congratulations to Spurs for winning the Europa League, and this isn't hit on you guys and everything, but like Spurs is not a team that are proven to be proper in finals. Spurs is not a team that are proven to win trophies in the past how many years, right? So like Spurs have literally been that banter team that like everybody's like, oh, when it comes to the final they can't do. United literally favourites to win this game for the first time this season. We're favourites to win a game and we didn't win. Obviously the first time that we have expectations on ourselves is when we don't win, just as United do. And yeah, we didn't win. And it was just so sad to see us play that terribly in a final when we finally have the opportunity. Instead of us to give it our all, instead of us to give it everything that we have, that's the last game of the season that is important to us because the Aston Villa game was very important. That's the last game of the season. Like even if everybody, God forbid, but even if everybody checked that ECL in that game, at least we did it winning. We went down swinging. We didn't go down swinging in that game. We went down like chumps and then we ended up losing. So yes, I was very unhappy with the way we played. I was very unhappy with the way we approached the game. And Ange fulfilled his promise to Spurs fans, and we're the team that gives Spurs a trophy. Like at the end of the day, again, this isn't any hate to Spurs or anything, but we're the team that's going to be known as the team that gave a trophy to Spurs. After all these years, we gave a trophy to Spurs, and it's just so sad to see that it was us that happened. I think that's another thing that pains me. It's not even just the fact that we lost. As much as like that's the main thing that's paining me is like we're always that team that's always giving these other teams something, and it's just like I don't know. It was just like a player hasn't scored in like 5 years, and they play against United and they score kind of thing. I don't know. It's just like a whole thing. Like I had hope in that game. People didn't have hope in that game. My friend James didn't have hope in that game. He told me from the start that like we're going to lose the game, and I just had hope, and my hope was clearly not in the right place, and I shall visit my hope for something else. But yeah, no trophy this season, no Champions League next season. The money that we have gotten for qualify for Champions League, we're not getting it. So whatever financial situation we're in, we're going to stay there, kind of things. We have to sell a lot of players. We also have to do a lot of things with our finances to make sure that things work out. And yeah, I mean, this is one of the games that I'll say that you got it wrong, brother. Like you got it wrong. Like you did get it wrong with this game. I do still have faith in you. I'm going to do another episode based on Amrin, so stay tuned for that. But like, yeah, finished 15th, I think. And yeah, it have been nice to wrap up the season with a trophy. It have been nice to qualify for Champions League. At least it have been a way to attract players to our team for next season. But we're going to get that. So like, now we have to attract them based on like we're United, or tell them that they're going to be very important to the project and all of that. But like, we don't have Champions League football to offer them. As much as like, I don't really love it when the players like, oh, no Champions League football, no me kind of thing. Except for like a big player like Neymar or something. Like you shouldn't be saying no Champions League football. You can come and help us qualify for Champions League. But everybody has their own preference. Everybody has their own thing that they want to do with their career, right? So like yes, if we don't have Champions League football to offer them, I can understand the player not coming. We don't have a lot to offer players right now. We're not straight that we have a good project right now. So I don't know how we're going to tempt players to come in, but hopefully things happen. We're going to have a transfer window episode. We're going to have an Amirim episode. But yeah, thank you guys for coming again. This was a nice little yap sesh, this was a nice little rant. I don't want to rant so much about it just because I can talk about this thing for an hour if I get really into it. So I don't want to get too much into it. I'm trying to keep the episode short. But yeah, thank you for you guys that joined. And hopefully I'll see you guys again. You guys will see me again. We'll stay consistent, we'll stay with it. And yeah, let's get it go.